Hello everyone, happy Monday. So I earlier this morning or afternoon, I drove Uber super late last night, so I just woke up not too long ago. And earlier today, I did caught myself in a moment when I was out of integrity with myself. And it really shocked me because I think this is something that almost all of us do. And it is answering that simple question of how are you by someone else, right? Like we get asked, how are you doing? How are you? Constantly every day, but it has become such a surface level question that we have just been so conditioned to automatically answer, I'm doing okay, I'm doing good, or I'm doing pretty good, which is how I answer to that question being asked. And I really caught myself. In that moment, I caught myself like, wow, I am out of integrity here in this moment. And why do I feel like I needed to say I'm doing pretty good, even though deep down I wasn't doing all the best, right? And I am on a path, I am committed to living in my truth, being in integrity with my truth. And that takes place from the smallest steps in my life up to the biggest thing, right? So when I caught myself being out of integrity by answering this question, how are you doing, or how are you, that really caught me. So I want to commit by practicing expressing my truth right here, right? Really wanting to encourage and empower all of you as well to speak your truth from like the smallest thing. When someone asks, how are you doing? Why do we feel the need to say I'm doing good when really deep down you're not? So it's our responsibility to speak our truth so that, believe it or not, it takes tremendous energy to live a life that's out of integrity, right? To say, and I'm feeling good when I'm not, like that takes so much energy away from you that could be utilized to create something a lot more powerful and beneficial to your highest good. So with that being said, I do want to redo that answer to my friend's question. Instead of saying I'm feeling pretty good, I gotta say like, I woke up feeling pretty overwhelmed. Lately my mind chatter has just been going nonstop, and I've really been cultivating this muscle to differentiate between who I really am, which is simply this space that's capable of holding everything, the thoughts, the mind chatter, the negative emotions. Like I am this space for everything and for which to unfold, versus the mind chatter, the constant endless chatter that is all about me, all about like how can I satisfy my needs. Like if you pay attention, you will notice this voice in the back of your mind that just constantly go and go and go and go. And usually it starts off with I forgot to do this, I need to do that, it's always about you. So I woke up feeling just tremendously overwhelmed, and my mind was focusing on all the negatives, focusing on all the things that aren't working. One of the biggest saying that I've learned this weekend driving Uber was actually from a passenger who is a firefighter. And he told me like one of the mantra or something, a quote that he heard from one of his mentors was that your greatest problems are your greatest problems. It took me a while to really understand what that means. Your biggest problems are your biggest problems. Meaning that whatever you make your life to be the biggest problems in your life, then it will be the biggest problem in your life, right? So at the end of the day, it all comes down to perspective. But going back to where I was saying, like I woke up just feeling tremendously stressed out, overwhelmed, and that's not the place I want to start off the day with. So feeling really exhausted. The night before, I only got 3 hours of sleep after dealing with that whole ordeal with Uber and the puking passenger. So like I'm feeling exhausted, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling a little bit stressed, I feel overwhelmed. And I think the importance of just simply speaking that truth creates an opening for us to create something new, for us to create and choose to feel a different feeling, right? By simply like saying, oh, I'm feeling good, even though deep down that's not your truth. We're actually repressing and pushing these emotions back down into our body and allowing these emotions to subtly control us subconsciously. versus creating a space, speaking the truth, and allowing that to surface and to be released so that we can put something new in, right? And this is really the nature of all the work that I do with deep healing and transformation. Instead of like telling ourselves to think positive or choosing to focus on what's good. I mean, yes, those are important, but the first step gets to be creating space for whatever is in there that's junk, that doesn't serve us, to come out and to be released. And that is such an important step. I remember last year when I had my first 10K month, I did transformational coaching, just general like transformational coaching. And I always tell my students that we gotta clear up the foundation. There's so much garbage in the foundation. We gotta clear that up first before we put beautiful things in there, right? A lot of us on this path of personal growth, there's a term they say spiritual bypassing, right? We want to focus on the positive. We want to choose what's good. We want to focus on light, love, and joy, and all of that is important. But that comes after you do the deeper work of creating space for integration and releasing, and coming back to the main point of this conversation is that living a life of truth starts with the smallest things. So catch yourself next time, like really ask yourself next time when someone asks you, like, how are you doing? Are you answering them honestly? If not, why? Like, why do you feel the obligation to lie and say, like, I'm doing okay? When what we feel is truly what we create. I listened to a YouTube video yesterday, and the guy said, like, one thing that totally changed his life, he was a homeless person, and now he's like pretty much inspiring and a motivational leader of millions. Like, how did he go from homeless to being this powerful leader? Was he simply recognized the fact that we are an emotional mirror. Everything that we put out emotionally, what we feel deep down unconsciously, combined with the action and the things that the steps that we implement, we create what we see on the outside as a mirror back to our emotional states. So what we feel is what we create. So if you are not being in integrity with how you truly feel inside, and you're not creating that space and time for you to express how you truly feel, and you just like putting a band-aid on top of it by pretending like you're feeling okay when you're truly not, then you will understand that deep down you're creating a bunch of shitty emotions, right? Like your life and your external reality is reflecting back to you how you truly feel deep down inside. So with that being said, like, just a quick reminder, I empower all of you to just be conscious next time when someone asks you, like, how are you doing? Really ask yourself, like, am I honest answering this question honestly? Am I in integrity with my truth? Because that's important, right? Little steps build up the ultimate foundation. I caught myself today, I'm not perfect, and I always just share what I am experiencing in my journey, as I hope that it could inspire and empower you to choose differently. So with that being said, share your heart, share your feelings honestly today from now on, and let me know what you guys think. All right, sending you all so much love. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon, hopefully tomorrow.